Ambition seems to be a word nobody wants to talk about, and certainly not in the context of business as an open statement of value. So ambitious people, we all see them, we all know what it means when they're overtly and maybe overly ambitious. But not being ambitious enough, that's an interesting concept for a lot of people and a lot of businesses. So it's when the good enough is good enough. I'm happy where I am, things are going okay. And then we get some wrenches thrown into that machinery. So today has never been more interesting to see how not being ambitious enough makes us vulnerable. So in the business context for where we are, lots of high growth, high value businesses still aren't ambitious enough. And so what that means to me is, how do we make sure that we are doing the things that allow us to be successful? Because our ambitions, our visions, our movement forward is always working for our value and for the next thing that we're going to do, and preparing for the next thing that we don't know is coming. And so has that been more interesting than right now in the current context of the U.S. administration south of the border for Canadians. And so ambition is not being selfless and selfish. It's about context for where you want to grow and how do you want to grow your business. And so the ambition conversation in the Canadian context is sometimes poo-pooed. Don't be too ambitious. Don't get too big for your britches. A million different concepts like that. We need to think differently. We need to think bigger. We need to think more aggressively. And that's because the world is more ambitious than we are as a collective right now. And so right now, in the context of trade tariffs and things along those lines, there's a lot of people who have been made aware, woken up to the context of what's going on around them, is that people who see the value that we have, that want to take the value from us that we have, they can't have it for free. And for us to do that properly, we have to be ambitious. And so that means doing things differently. And as I've said a million times, Canada does not have an innovation problem. We have a commercialization problem. We have to be able to sell our stuff way better at a value that we know it's worth. Let's start there. We undervalue part of our potentially lack of ambition. We undervalue what we have and what we do and how good we are at what we do quite drastically. Yes, we need to be a more productive society. Yes, we need to have more outputs. Yes, innovation needs to continue. We need to continue to do smart things with smart people. But holy mackerel, do we need to up our game from an ambition perspective? We have a lot. We are a lot. We know a lot. We can do a lot. We have to make sure that we value that, and that everybody around us values it at the same value that we value it. So for today, a little bit of introspection, but it's okay to be ambitious. It's okay to want more. It's okay to want to be able to do more. And it's okay to be able to leverage that to make sure that nobody comes and takes what you got. All right, Ruby says, ambition isn't a problem. Ambition is something that we have to embrace. And ambition is something we need to take into the next 4+ years to make this a much easier process for everybody involved in Canada. All right, enough for today. Walking and talking with Ruby.